Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. In this video, what I intend to do is to show you how I added animations for this scorpion. Now, I did add some animations and used the NLA Editor, which is below here. And I've added an attack, animation, turn right, pincer, claw, tail sting, and walker. Now, I've been creating several animations for the scorpion and adding them to the NLA Editor. So if I click on this, if I enable that and I play this, so what I'll do now is remove the bones so it's clearer. I'll just pause it. I'll hide the bones and then play back. So I'll unhide the bones and I'll start with a new animation. And what I'll do is you'll see that here I have the timeline open here. I have the action editor open here. That's the dope shit. I've selected action. I'm going to click to add a new action here, and below here you have the NLA editor as well. So what I'll do first is to click on new, but before I click on new, I'll think of what animation do I want to perform. This animation could be that it's going to attack with the left claws, so I'm going to click on new, and what I'll do first is to go to pose mode, press A, select all bones and press I, add a new keyframe. So if I look at the scorpion from the top here, it needs to strike with this claw, and the assumption is that it's going to strike this cube, right? So what I think it should do is it should move back a bit, rotate the tail in this direction and this head in that direction, and then stretch out the arm and then swing with the arm to hit the cube. While it's swinging, the angle of the body will be like that, across like that, and then it recovers back into this position. So based on how long I want this to happen, I could always stretch out the frames, but I assume that it's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20. So what I'll do first is to move this, copy this, and probably come to 21 and paste that. So now I'm going to sort of time this. So the first move it's going to make is to try to prepare for that strike. I'll assume that this bone is going to be the primary bone. If I go to the right, I'll assume that when it wants to make that move, it's going to move back a bit. So I'm going to press G and move it back a bit and press I. So that's the center bone. So if I have a look at that, you see it moves the scorpion back a bit, like it's about to strike something. At the same time, I would want it to be rotating the body as well. Now, what you'll notice is that the legs are sort of stretched out too much. I wouldn't want to animate the legs as well. So, but what I could do is I could leave the legs, because when the scorpion wants to strike, I assume that it's going to be sort of standing on its legs and wouldn't want to be lose its balance when it's striking. So if the legs are on the ground, it's easier. It can sort of stabilize itself while striking. So what I'll do is to put the cursor here and then rotate the body. Now rotating the body will also mean I need to rotate that bone underneath. So I'll probably put the cursor back on 5 because that's where the current keyframes are. So I'll go to the top and press R, Z and rotate the body like that, and then press G and bring the body back like that, and then press I. So when I move this back and forth, you'll see what happens here. It's like the scorpion is moving back to strike, and while it's doing that, what I'll do is start to move this backwards. Select this bone here, I'll press I to add a keyframe, come closer here, select this bone, add a keyframe as well, then move this forwards a bit, say to 6, and at 6 the assumption is that it's starting to move this backwards. So I'll just press RXX so it moves it on local x-axis, and I'll press I and I'll select this bone as well, RXX, and move that backwards a bit. So RXX again, and then I can move it backwards. It's gone too far. RXX and a bit backwards, and I'll press I. So I'll now move this forward. So if we look at what animation we have now, you see that first of all the scorpion tries to move back a bit and then it tries to strike, then it swings back its arm So I'll come to 9 and let's do 10. So let's say it's moved the arm, make it go forwards. I'll stop it there, press I, and select this other bone as well, RXX, and press I, and we also need to move the body as well because it's supposed to throw the body into the punch as well. So press 7 and G, move the body in and rotate it, and G, I, so it's possible. So ideally the arm should go before the body goes. So I'm going to move this a bit backwards, G, and play it, and then you can see what animation we've done so far. And you can see hide the bones so you can see just the scorpion. So you can see basically the scorpion just strikes and returns to its old position. But we need to make sure the scorpion actually rotates properly, rotates more into that side so the impact of the punch is high. So I'll press Alt H and then I'll check out what the animation looks like. So once it's done that swing, it will be assumed that the body, so the body moves there, we can actually move the body like this. So it's supposed to swing faster here. So I'll press RZ and move that body, and G just to move it forwards a bit, and I, and we can actually move this backwards because it seems like it's too far. So I'll just press G and move them back to 12. It positions itself, gets set to strike, and it strikes and then goes back to its position. So I'm going to stop this. I'm going to call that action strike left, show the bones again, come down to the NLA Editor, and what I'll do is to click on this thing that looks like an arrow pointing down, push down action, I'll click it, and then you can see it's added strike left as an animation for the scorpion. So when next sort of exporting this model as it is, all these animations, including the strike left we just added, is going to go out with it, especially such as exporting to 3.js. You can select this animation and run it on the 3.js scene. I'll show you that in a different video, but what you notice now is that I'll uncheck attack left, click on walker, and play this. So I'll hide the bone first, press H, hide the bone, disable both walker and attack, and enable the new animation I just created, hide the bones, and play this. And you can see that it's also added as one of the animations for the scorpion. So we're going to stop here today. Hope you learned something from how to use your NLA editor to add new animations to your model. At some point, this model will be going into Unity, and then I'll be selecting animations using a controller based on the action of the player. So stay tuned and see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Cheers, bye.